Hello everybody. We're going to do a slow flow to yin practice today. And this is something that I think there's only kind of a couple in the library, but somebody specifically reached out to me and said they really enjoyed the style class. They were doing one from this past November. So I love when I hear that so I can create more content that you want. So please always send me feedback if you like about anything you have really enjoyed, anything you might want more of. I am all ears. For today, have a couple blocks, maybe a blanket that's kind of discretionary, and then a pillow might be nice as we kind of wind down class. So we'll do a little slow flow, we'll have a few yin postures and shavasana. Right? And to kind of be efficient with our flow, we're going to start right into a tabletop pose. So this, of course, is one place you could put your blanket down to cushion your knees if you like, but you'll come onto all fours here. Walk your hands out a few times. Good. And then you can plant the hands back down. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And we'll take some cow and cat. Inhale to lift your chest, lift your tailbone. And exhale, round the spine, doming up through your back. Good. And a few more like this. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat. Good. And just keep going. About 3 more cycles at your own pace. We'll come back into the neutral spine. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring your right leg back, toes curled under. And then inhale, you can lift that right leg about parallel with the floor here. And then step your right foot forward in between your hands. Grab your blocks here if you like and put them underneath your hands. You can have fists or hands down here. I'm going to go to fists. My wrists are a little bit tender today. Curl the left toes under and pick that back knee up. And just holding into this low lunge, which we can activate quite a bit to really make it kind of a rigorous shape. Pull that right heel back isometrically as you bring the left hip forward. Activate your core. Take a couple of nice slow breaths here. Now we're going to take one more inhale. And then exhale, you'll straighten your right leg any amount and fold forward. We'll hold here another couple cycles of breath. And we'll inhale, re-bend into that right knee. And then as you exhale, step your left foot forward next to the right, bend your knees any amount, and take a nice forward fold here. And then inhale, you'll reach your arms up to the sky. Now when your arms come up high, catch your right wrist in your left hand and take a side bend over to your left. And then inhale, keep the clasp, just come back to vertical. And then one more time, exhale, take it over into that side bend to the left. Good, and then we'll inhale, come on back to center. As you exhale, you're gonna bring your arms out like a goalpost shape. And then inhale, let your heart reach forward, hips reach forward a little bit. And exhale, you're gonna curl and round, bringing the backs of your elbows all the way down to the thighs. And just one more time in that. So inhale, you'll open up. And then exhale, you'll curl it down. Now sweep your arms out and up to the sky. Big inhale. Nice slow movement here today. Exhale, forward fold. Take your halfway lift, breathing in. And then plant your hands and step back to your downward dog. Here's our first down dog visit. So go slowly there, gently. And let's if it feels good for you, do a lot of generous movement here. Big pedal for the heels, sway for the hips. That's great. And then we'll come back into stillness. Take an inhale. Exhale, tabletop pose. And then left leg will come back, toes curled under. And you'll inhale to lift the left leg parallel to floor, and then exhale, bring your left foot forward and between your hands. Okay, utilize your blocks here if you like. We're gonna curl the right toes under. Pick the knee up, press the heel back. Try not to kind of dump all the pressure of the pose into the arms. Can you really use that isometric work in the legs? And take one more breath in here. And then as you exhale, you're going to straighten your left leg out any amount and you'll fold. And then we'll hang here for a cycle of breath. Inhale, you're going to rebend into the left knee, and exhale, step the right foot forward and fold into your Uttanasana, forward fold. And then reach your arms up, this time catching your left wrist with your right hand and side bending to the right. Right, and then we'll take that again. So you'll inhale, come back to center. And then you'll exhale, side bend again to the right and hold. And then we'll inhale, come on back to center. And this time just melt your arms down to your sides. Let the shoulder completely drop and relax. And then inhale, reach your arms up and exhale, forward fold. Now take a halfway lift. Again, please step back to downward dog. And this time you'll take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale, we'll take it forward to our high plank. Now you can always take this pose from the knees. We're visiting it just one time today. So really finding that 360 engagement in the core, pressing back through the heels. One more full cycle of breath. And then take a little shift forward if you can. Drop down to your knees, lower to your mat. Come up to Sphinx pose. Now, even though we're moving shortly towards our yin segment, I'm having you do more of a hatha style Sphinx here. So by that, I mean root through the pelvis, drag your arms back a little bit, elbows situated underneath the shoulders or thereabouts. Press into the tops of the feet so you can really feel the back bend element of this pose. Now one more inhale and exhale. Come on down. Stack your hands and rest your forehead down. Maybe wiggle your hips side to side a little bit. Good. And then we're going to take our folded wing pose here. So I'm going to take your right arm out to the right. Here it's coming into our yin segment now. I like to have my my extended arm straight for this pose. Some people might prefer it bent, like a goalpost shape again. This left hand here is going to just kind of plant down beyond my left shoulder over to the side there as my lever. And your head can drop down right temple to the mat. And you'll start to roll yourself over to the right. Now, I've got my left fingertips down now as my lever and starting to feel this stretch here. Now, if you want to kind of ameliorate the intensity of the stretch, you could bring this left knee forward a little bit. So that's going to be kind of less pressure. On the flip side, if you're looking like you're like, this is good, this is useful for me, and you want more, you could maybe think about placing those left toes behind the right knee. And you're still just letting your head rest down. Put a little blanket or pillow underneath your head if the neck is bothersome here. Now, some of you may even keep rolling to the point where you're putting both of your feet actually down on the floor. That's not something that I'm going to try here for myself. This is plenty right here. Another option is to tuck this left hand behind the back. Okay, we're going to stay here, whatever you're choosing for not too much longer, another about 30 seconds. And one more full cycle of breath. And as you wind down that exhale, take the next round or two of breath to just slowly unravel wherever you ended up. So just kind of think about reversing your steps. Try not to just kind of rush yourself out of it. And you'll come back to center. Now you could take crocodile again for in between, or you could rest your arms by your sides. I really like this option for my body. Just palms up, resting on either your forehead or just one side of your face. That one's so intense for me, but like it kind of opens my chest and shoulders up like none other. So as you saw, I don't do, really like complex versions of it. I kind of stay pretty gentle with it, but it does a lot for my body. You just have to listen into what works for you. Are all different. Okay, so let's take the other side. Left arm up, out here. Bent or straight, you decide. Right hand is your lever, and you're going to roll on over. Okay, left side of the head down. Here you've got same options, right? So you can keep your feet stacked. Maybe if this is already like, oh, pretty intense, this left knee or right knee can come forward and take off some of the pressure, or maybe that right foot's going to come behind the left leg, either just toe down or whole foot down, and maybe right arm tucks behind the back there. See what works for you today. Right, try to soften the muscles of your face. Oh, 30 more seconds here. Right, go ahead and complete one more full cycle of breath. Okay, and then again, take your time here. There's no rush. Use the next couple cycles of breath to just work out of each way you had positioned yourself and come back onto the belly again. And again, you can take that crocodile, resting forehead on hands, or maybe arms by your sides, palms up, shoulders just relaxing towards the mat. Okay. And then you can walk your hands up so they're underneath your shoulders. A little bit of tone to the core here. And just go ahead, press up to your table and then back just intuitively to a child's pose. We're going to take another yin posture here, but for right now, just want you to kind of curl up in whatever child's pose feels comfy. Another round of breath. Okay, awesome. So next up, we're going to take a child's pose with a shoulder stretch here. And I want to show it from this angle because it's a little bit different alignment, invitation that I might have you do, like when we're doing in the middle of a vinyasa class and we do a thread the needle type of pose. So first of all, you might want some props on this. You might want to put a blanket in between your hips and your heels, or maybe underneath that front line of the ankles. You might want something for your head to go on, like a pillow. So you'll take a wide knee child's pose. So big toes touching, knees out wide, use any supports you need. And then you'll come, most of the way down. You're going to take your left arm underneath the right, and here's where the alignment's a little bit different. Think about trying to get your left shoulder sort of to the center of your child's pose. So kind of, lined up more with the pelvis as opposed to with that left knee. And then you can come down onto the left side of the head if that's available, and you'll just extend this right arm forward without like an aggressive amount of reach, but just think of it as more extension rather than just like a super soft. Left arm by your side. So again, you could put something under your head if this is too intense, but there's probably a lot of sensation for some of us behind the right shoulder and that shoulder blade. That's sort of to be expected here, especially if you've got some tension there. Try to continue to breathe deeply. It's practicing some presence with a sensation you might be having. A few more deep rounds of breath here. So we're going to start to slowly unravel that side. And I'd love for you to just back yourself up into a kneeling posture in between. You can scoot your knees in closer now and just take a couple moments to breathe, digest. You'll kind of notice differences between your sides here. And then we'll take our second side. So knees out wide. Take yourself most of the way down. And then we'll do the opposite side. So it's going to be right arm underneath the left, and you're trying to bring that right shoulder about to the center line of your lower body. And that kind of the two sides of the coin with yin are that we want to try to find stillness, but we also don't want it to be tensing into the stillness. So see if you can kind of relax your hips here and your low back, and even that weight of your own upper body onto the right shoulder, as long as it feels okay. Just sort of an acceptance and stillness. It's a bit longer to hold here. One more round of breath. And please gently unravel, unthread that right arm from underneath the left. Come back again, and you can just sit up kneeling. And this time, after you've had kind of a few moments of stillness in the kneeling, then I'll invite you to take any kind of natural movements here before we start to move towards rest. Very nice. And you go ahead and lay down here, and if you have any layers you want to put on, props you might want around for Shavasana, like your pillow or your blanket, have those handy. We'll do a little bit of a twist here to wind down. Not really a yin pose, but just a nice reclined twist to close. So cross your left knee over the right, scoot your hips a little bit to the left, and lower your legs to the right. Now, it could certainly have some yin flavor. You can spread your arms out to a T if you like. Maybe right hand presses to the left leg. Maybe gaze to your left. Those of you who practice with me a lot know I really love to kind of mesh the different styles of yoga together, not just for the pure sake or fun of doing it, that's fine too, but because I think that many times that kind of fluidity between styles can be really useful to us as practitioners and as people trying to do the best in this life for ourselves and others that we can. Come back to center, and you can bring your hips right back to center, right knee over the left. Scoot your hips a little bit to the right, and then go ahead and lower your legs to the left. Take your twist. You can self-assist here with the left hand. You can maybe gaze to the right. Just taking some nice deep rounds of breath. friends, come on back to center. And you'll uncross your knees, hips back to center. And to close here, I'll give a few suggestions. Maybe a wide-kneed child's pose with a little rock side to side. Maybe the rocking from happy baby pose, where you can hold onto your feet or the backs of your thighs or your shins. Or perhaps one of my personal favorites, reclined Baddha Konasana or butterfly, depending if we're talking about the Hatha tradition or the Yin tradition. Soles of the feet together. I just love this one. All right, so you can wrap that up and move into your Shavasana. You could certainly take your pillow or anything under your knees, or maybe a pillow under your back or under your head. Softening all the way from the inner parts of your body to the outer layers of muscle and skin. Soften the features of your face. And even let any intense breath control relax into a more natural, instinctual breath. Shavasana. And if you have the time, space, and desire to continue resting, you can just close your device and do so. If you are ready to bring this practice to a close, please invite in a little awakening to your body and your breath in any fashion. You can curl over to your side if you like. And then we're going to come and meet in seated, lengthening up through that nice tall spine. I hope you feel And a little bit more of a freedom in your shoulders, maybe your chest. We'll bring our hands to heart center. And together we might close our eyes and we will share another breath. Nice full breath in. Full breath out. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, 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 everyone.